Welcome back everybody. Now before we get to the video, I have a very quick announcement to make, and that is I'll be doing an FPL blind challenge this Saturday. And basically what that means is I won't be watching any of the games. So I'll be avoiding social media, I'll be avoiding my phone, as crazy as that sounds. And then after the Chelsea game concludes, I'll be live streaming and watching the highlights of every game for the first time, so you guys can catch my real raw reaction. And I think it's going to be something crazy. So please tune in Saturday afternoon after the Chelsea game ends. FPL blind challenge. Now let's get to the video. Okay guys, let's get to the FPL optimal strategy stuff. So if you guys watched my first video, you would know what this graphic is, and if you haven't, I'll explain it really quickly. Basically, I've gone through every single game week from now till game week 13, and I've identified the best teams to have players from, and the best captain and the second best captain, and so on. Now the things I added were row number 13, so game week 13, and also the transfers column on the far right. And basically what that indicates is that by game week 6, 7, 10 and 13 you have to have those players or have made those transfers. So game week 6 you have to get Haaland. That is by far the most optimal strategy. And then game week 7 onwards you need 3 or at least 2 Arsenal players. Game week 9 you definitely need 3 Chelsea. If you've seen their fixtures you'll agree. And then by game week 13 obviously we all know, or we all should know, that Liverpool and Man City have a crazy fixture swing. They have a sea of green and you have to target those teams. That's why I'm saying 3 Liverpool, 3 Man City, or at least 5 out of 6. Yeah, and if we quickly review game week 3, which I have in green at the top, if you watched my last video, I would have advised you guys to captain a United mid, particularly Fernandes, and the second best captain as Haaland, and it worked out. So Fernandes got 10 points, Haaland got 9 points. There's nothing in it, so both options were great. And yeah, so I'm putting that in green. Otherwise, if it didn't work, I'll put that in red. But I think it'll work out, because you guys can see the captains I've picked. They're all the super captains, the best captains for those game weeks. So guys, as you can see in the talking points section, I have a wildcard for optimal strategy and a no wildcard optimal strategy, which is what I'm on. But I have split this section into 2 because I'll be showing you the ideal transfers for someone on a wildcard, and then also do the same thing for someone not on a wildcard. Maybe you're planning to wildcard in game week 13 or another game week, but I'll go through that as well because that's what I'm on right now. But first, I'm gonna go through the wildcard for optimal transfer strategy. If you want to skip ahead, I'll have the timestamps available for you guys and you can just skip ahead. But yeah, so in terms of game week 4 wildcard, this is the wildcard I'm sold on at the moment. One player I wish I had is Sar, but as far as we know he's injured, so we won't have him. I've looked at the defenders quite a lot and nothing seems to beat a 4.5 defender or like a 4.5 center back. You can see here I have Gudmundsson, but that can easily be Rodon, the center back. But yeah, because he's 4 million, or Estev, whatever you want. But in terms of the core players, I think this is the best you can come up with, whilst also still having Salah and Haaland. And that's for game week 4. Obviously you want the best captain and you have him, and that's Salah. Moving on to game week 5. Which is a little bit tricky because Reinders has Arsenal away, so you're gonna have to play 4 at the back, which is absolutely fine. As we've seen, the center backs are absolutely crushing it. Hell, I'd even play Senesi, by the way. Like I'd play Senesi somehow instead of one of these guys, maybe even like this. But yeah, you have the best captain and that's what matters, and the rest of your team looks nice. And after game week 5 everything's gonna be super. So game week 6 you got the best captain by far, and everybody else has an okay game. And you're wondering, oh, but I wouldn't want Salah or Gakpo away to Crystal Palace. Well, you don't have to, because you have 3 transfers. If you want to jump on Arsenal early, you can easily do that right here. You can switch Salah down to I don't know, Osaka and Mateta up to a Gyökeres. But notice that no other big team has a good game anyway. So Chelsea, well, Chelsea has Brighton at home, but you already have Pedro covered, so it's not the end of the world. But in terms of like Arsenal, they have Newcastle away. If you really want them early, you will be getting them the following week. But if you want them early, you can get them. If you don't trust Liverpool against Palace, which by the way, I don't really trust them against Palace. You can get, I mean, if you're a United fan or you believe in United like I do, for example, you can get United players. But I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think this is the best team to have numbers-wise or statistics-wise for Game Week 6. Game Week 7, we use 4 transfers. Three of these transfers I'm 100% sure of, which are Salah down to Saka, Mateta up to Gyökeres, and I don't know who I changed for Gabriel, but one of the 4.5 center backs. Fernandes is the one I'm unsure about. He could easily be Acuna or Mbeumo. We really need to see United play a few more games. I think they're turning a page and they're looking much better, but we'll need to see how they evolve. But this is just an example. And again, guys, the most important element to this video or to this strategy is that you have the best captain. As long as you have the best captain, then you're good. Who's the best captain for Game Week 7? If we scroll down here, who's the best captain? It's either an Arsenal player, Watkins, if you know somehow Villa turn it around in these next few game weeks, but we don't have Watkins. But so Arsenal, United, and City. Everybody else has a tough fixture. And guess what? You have literally all the players. Like, not only do you have all the captain options, you have all the options. Your team's going to be absolutely amazing in Game Week 7. You're getting a green arrow 100%, in my opinion at least. And if you don't like Pedro against Liverpool, which you would be crazy because they don't defend that well, you could always do this. I don't think you can bench boost this team. Oops, I put out the wrong player. Who was it? Richards or something, whatever. But yeah, guys, so you have the best captain in Haaland, and if you don't trust Haaland, you have Gyökeres. If you don't trust Gyökeres, you have Fernandes. I don't know why you would do that, but you have the option. Game Week 8, it's still Haaland. You have the best captain. Yeah, okay, Arsenal have a tough fixture, Fulham away. I see it as a tough fixture. Some people might just, you know, they would love having 3 Arsenal players. But there's nothing wrong with having 3 Arsenal players. After all, it is Arsenal. So you have the best captain. Yeah, you have Fernandes away to Liverpool, but Cunha chips in the box, gets a penalty. There you go. You got 12 points. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. And that's what happened in the last 2 game weeks. Fernandes was absent almost, and then he gets a penalty out of nowhere. Yes, he missed one. He scored the other. But in fact, I think against Burnley, he could have had like 2 or 3 assists, just to be fair. Game Week 9. And just before I get to Game Week 9, again, you don't have to get Fernandes. Remember, we made the changes during Game Week 7. Fernandes could be literally, I don't know, like Sar, for example, if you want to save more money and you don't trust Fernandes. But as long as you have the best captains, that's what the optimal FPL strategy is. So going back to Game Week 8, you have the best captain. Game Week 9, I think what I did is went from Haaland down to Isak. I assume Isak should be starting every single game at that point. And we've gotten, yeah, so we've gone from Haaland down to Isak, and then I think Semenyo up to Palmer. And now you have 2 Chelsea players for their amazing game. Ideally, you'd want a Chelsea center back, which you could do at the very beginning. So if you chop and change just a couple of players right here, maybe just let go of Gakpo and get somebody cheap, and then like during your wildcard, I mean, and then just get a Shalobah or something. But let's quickly go ahead again. So yeah, Game Week 9, we have Palmer captain, we have the best captain, and the second best captain, if you want Isak, is the third best captain. Game Week 10, you have Arsenal away to Burnley, excellent game. The rest of your players have an excellent game as well. Spurs are very good defensively, so the only tricky fixture here is your Chelsea players away to Spurs, but the rest of the team looks amazing. And after all, I mean, Chelsea are playing well, and I don't see them, you know, I can see them scoring and getting stuff against Spurs, so it's not the end of the world, this fixture. Game Week 11, you have a beautiful squad, especially 3 Arsenal, 2 Chelsea. And you have to fix 2 transfers at that stage. Game week 12, you have your 2 Chelsea and 3 Arsenal, but this time at home against Spurs. And usually there's a lot of goals between Arsenal and Spurs, as far as I remember. And you also have Isak. He's such a nice addition, you know? Now, the turning point, the most important game week for the wildcarders, which is game week 13. You have to get at least 5 players from City and Liverpool. And this team I just made super quickly. You can of course do something completely different and maybe like get Salah in there. It's not that difficult, I would think. It's even easier if you avoid getting Isak before. So you remember we got Isak at one point. You could have avoided and gotten someone else like a Strand Larson, because at that point maybe he would have healed. So let's just quickly go back to see when we got Isak. Yeah, game week 9. So yeah, by game week 9, okay, you can't get Strand Larson because he doesn't have the best. He has Burnley, but then it's awful after that. Just checking what other striker you could get. Maybe a Vissa or a Voltemada or whatever. Forget United. Mateta has Arsenal away, doesn't work. Yeah, because there weren't that many options, that's why I went for Isak, because you would have a lot of money after you sell Haaland. Let's go back to 13. Anyways, so you definitely need Haaland. You have Reinders already. You need, if not Wirtz, then a Gakpo. If Gakpo really like solidifies that left wing and it's his own and he's playing at least 75 to 80 minutes every single game, and it's just Ekitike and Isak swapping around, then you could just, you know, get Gakpo. I don't even think Ekitike is going to be swapping around with Isak. I think what's going to happen is Isak always gets 75 to 85 minutes, if not more or something. And then Ekitike plays the last 5 minutes. He plays the cup games. He plays maybe 30 minutes in the Champions League or 20 minutes. Yeah, I think Isak would be good. But God knows what's going to happen in freaking game week 13. This is just a rough idea. Of course, by the time you get to this game week, like your team, there's 0 chance it'll look like this. Virgil might, I don't know what happens to him, might get injured. Wirtz gets 3 red cards in a row and he's I don't know, sold in January. I don't know what happens. But moral of the story is you gotta aim to have free transfers, especially if you're wildcarding now. You have to look at the long-term plans. You can't not plan, otherwise you'll screw yourself, especially in game week 13 when other people like myself will be wildcarding and will have a, you know, essentially a better team if you don't have these transfers. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's the optimal FPL strategy for the wildcarders. Hopefully it makes sense. Now I'm gonna switch to the non-wildcarders. Alright guys, so now it's time for the non-wildcard game week 4 optimal strategy. Now it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because with the wildcard I can just pick all the players from scratch, whereas here everybody's team will look very different. Like for example, this is my team after I've made a transfer. I think I did Esteve to Gabriel. But yeah, so this is my team. It's gonna be completely different to your team, and it hasn't been the best team. I think I've made the correct choices, kinda, but like I've been also like super unlucky with Watkins, for example. And you got João Pedro scoring from corners out of nowhere, and Watkins just missing chances like he did against Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa scoring 0 goals in the first 3 game weeks. Like, come on, give me a break. And then Fernandes missed that penalty in game week 2. Cunha, my captain, got injured last week, and I think United were literally going to run riot, and they did score 3 goals, and they should have had way more should have scored at least 2 in the first half alone. And had Cunha not been injured, I think he would have definitely been part of that and gotten points. But long story short, we all have different teams. That's why this section is going to be a little bit trickier, but I'll show you how you can still manage to get the best captain every single game week until game week 13, which is when I'll be wildcarding. So game week 4, we have the best captain, that's Salah. We have even the second best captain, which is Mateta. Some people might think the second best captain is Haaland. I disagree. Not that he can't score, I think he might score, but I think Salah and Mateta are golden, especially Mateta against Sunderland. Especially if Sarr isn't injured, by the way, because actually Crystal Palace have a lot of injuries. But doesn't matter, we have the best captain. So Salah is there, it's all good. Because, you know, you don't get points for vice captaincy, so it doesn't matter. Salah has the captain, and that's what we're going with. Game week 5. Do we have the best captain? Forget my transfers. Forget what I'm doing on the side. Like, don't forget my transfers, but like, don't focus on me having Fernandes and Cunha at home to Chelsea. Because technically, I could also remove Fernandes and Cunha here. Instead of getting Gabriel, I can get 2 other midfielders. The thing is, I don't even know which 2 midfielders I get, because none of the midfield is, I don't know, like screaming points. Who am I supposed to get? Enzo? I don't want to get Enzo with Palmer back. He doesn't get any penalties anymore. Who else? I don't see any clear and obvious midfielder. That's the problem with Sarr getting injured, because Sarr was going to be my transfer. It was going to be Fernandes down to Sarr and you up to Gyökeres, for example, and then Cunha on the bench. But yeah, that Sarr is injured as far as we know. He might not be, but as of today, like the 7th of September, he is injured. Anyways, game week 5, we have the best captain. And then we have the second best, Watkins away to Sunderland. And come on, Aston Villa have to score goals at some point, right? Game week 6, do we have the best captain? Yes, we have Haaland, because we transfer out Salah. Apparently I get Sarr, and then we also get, who did I get? Oh, Haaland, of course. Oops. Mateta up to Haaland. Game week 7, now we get both Gyökeres, and who else did I get? Oh, I got King, apparently. So I moved Gakpo down to King and Gu up to Gyökeres. Again, this team, the transfers aren't final. I'm just showing you that how it is possible to always have the best captain no matter what. In this case, we have the 3 best captains, Gyökeres, Haaland, and Watkins. And Fernandes and Cunha have Sunderland. I mean, this team looks perfect. This starting 11 looks perfect. Yeah, even sells away to Newcastle. I think he'll make tons of saves and get points. I'm loving game week 7 team. Is it bench boostable? No, it's not. Game week 8. Do we have the best captain? Yes, it's Haaland. Yeah, I have Fernandes and Cunha away to Liverpool. But Liverpool have looked awful defensively, except against Arsenal. But that's because Arsenal decided not to attack. I don't know what the hell went on that game, honestly. Because if you watched Liverpool the first 2 game weeks, they were, you know, very easy to score against. Game week 9. This is where we get Palmer and Pedro. Again, we're getting the best captains for that game week. And game week 10, I think, yeah, I'm using my free hit in game week 10 because Watkins is away to Liverpool, even though I just said Liverpool aren't that good. But because also Fernandes and Cunha away to Forest, Palmer and Pedro away to Spurs. It's just a mess, you know. I hate this team. So just free hit that week. 11, we're back, you know, having great fixtures, especially with the 2 Chelsea forwards and Arsenal, and Juve has Burnley. Crystal Palace has Brighton, who concede quite a lot of chances and also score a lot of chances, as we've seen against Man City. Watkins has a nice game. Yeah, this team is looking good. Game week 12, what did I do? Oh, I'm bench boosting apparently, so I used 2 transfers on my bench, and I get, I think I moved from Van de Ven and Porro to Senesi and Chalobah. I think this is a nice bench boost team, right? And the rest of the team looks amazing. I think the only downside to all this is that there's a rough patch where I'm holding Cunha and Fernandes and literally hoping that United are looking like a proper team of football, or a football team of football. Game week 13 I wildcard, so I didn't even do the team, but I'll just wildcard. God knows what's gonna happen that by then, so I didn't even bother setting up a wildcard for this game week. But obviously I would have Salah, so let me just quickly show you. Obviously I'd have Salah, Haaland, and Gakpo or Verts and Virgil and Reinders and Ait Nouri. I don't know. That's my problem when game week 13 comes. Not my problem now. But yeah, guys, so I showed you how you can have the best captain every single game week. And if we go back to my... Is it this one? Nope. This one. If we go back to this graphic, which is right here, you'll see that we secured every single best captain, and we almost like had the second best captain most of the times. Yeah, so as long as you follow this optimal strategy, we got it right in game week 3. That's when I started this series, so I should have maybe started in game week 1, but you know, better late than never. And I think it'll be successful throughout the whole thing, unless injuries happen, of course. If you captain like Salah next week and he gets injured in the first 10 minutes, you can't really blame me. That's just life, you know. We're all human beings, we're all susceptible to getting injured, and that's what happened to Cunha in game week 3. But yeah, guys, hopefully you found this useful, educational, whatever. If you liked it, then please like. If you disagree with something, I really like when people disagree, by the way, because then it helps me see things that maybe I haven't seen. So please, in the comments section, write down something you don't agree with, or maybe you want to, you know, advise me of something. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, this was the video. Please remember to tune in on Saturday. I'll be reacting to the highlights, you know, for my FPL blind challenge. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.